What's up, everyone? I want to know, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or marketer who's looking to be able to take your business to the next level? Are you looking to be able to learn how to market during and post-COVID, and more specifically, get leads online? That's what today is all about. So you are in the right place, because today is part 3 of 4. That's right, of marketing essentials during and post-COVID. So with that being said, let's go ahead and kick this off. First of all, what's coming next after this? We talked about the first part, where to invest. The second was how to nurture and grow your customers. Today, online audience building made easy. What's this last one?
So this last one's going to be online lead strategy. So we're going to not only help you build your audience right now and make it easy for you, but have a strategy so it's in place for our next workshop.
Absolutely. And I just want to say a very special thank you to our sponsors here. We are the digital marketing at the Victoria Advocate. M. Roberts Digital is the sister company to Victoria Advocate. And so Kyle and I work for M. Roberts Digital. We are here at the Victoria Advocate, and we have partnered with the SBDC here in Victoria, as well as Heritage Mark, which is Victoria's best address for premier office space. So thank you so much to our sponsors. They allow us to bring you these trainings free of charge at no cost to you. And if you've met Kyle and I before, you know we are passionate about helping businesses and people, right? We want to help you be able to grow. And now more than ever, people are looking for the solutions, right? It's one thing to hear 5 different marketing strategies and then get overwhelmed before COVID, but now more than ever, businesses are looking for return on investment. How do we actually get leads online? So today's all about online audience building. We're going to talk a little bit about some lead strategy and then really finish that off in our next workshop. So can you just kick us off? What was the main takeaway from our last webinar?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is all about really deciding that difference between current customer and prospect, right? And so this is where we are telling you, you're 50% more likely to convert a current customer. Someone who's already done business with you, they know, like, and trust you. They know that you are going to deliver. And so you are 50% more likely to convert that current customer than going after a cold audience and really making it tougher to cultivate that audience.
And it's so good, right? Because we talk to businesses all day long. And one thing they say is, I want new leads. How do I get people in the door? How do I get in front of these exact people? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We can do that. However, one of the things that Kyle and I bring to the table in that conversation is, what are you doing already to nurture and grow your existing customers? And let's attract some new clients, right? Because we know that at the end of the day, you're not necessarily looking for leads, new leads to convert. You're looking for converted leads. And we know that your existing clients are more likely to convert. And so we want to make sure we have a strategy that both helps you nurture your existing clients as well as get new clients. But regardless of if it's a new client or an existing client, they just want to like call down and get all the answers. They're going to pop by like they used to, right, Kyle?
No. So COVID has literally changed everything, right? Well, but before COVID, we already knew online e-commerce was already growing, but COVID kind of just smacked us in the teeth as a business owner, saying, wow, I really should have had this set up, or I really need to get going with it. So this is where COVID has really give us a little push, because people are doing their research online. They are making their decisions before they even step into your store. They know what product they want to buy. They just want to know what business is going to help them with that service.
That's right. 86% of people are online watching videos before they determine who they're going to work with and reach out. So no longer are people reaching out to ask for information, but they're online looking and researching and specifically wanting videos. So you want to make sure that you improve your ease of doing business online. If you have a key product or service, you want to make sure you have a page on your website dedicated to that. You want to make sure that you know what product is leading your business, and make sure you put that on your website specifically. And specifically, what products are what are you actually solving? What problems are you solving? And what's the goal your clients have? And do you have a testimonial to show you've helped people just like them? That's what this is about. So we kind of broke this down into marketing essentials, the last one. We're not going to do a deep dive. But again, if you're wondering like, hey, I've got some existing clients, but I don't know if I'm really cultivating them and nurturing them, you want to watch our last training. You can see that on M. Roberts Digital YouTube page, or hit us up and we'll send you the link. But we really talked about the 4-part strategy, right? You need to have a sales funnel, which includes your website, right? Which includes content. Then you have a lead strategy, which is what we're talking about now. You can, the moon and the stars and every toolbox, every tool in the toolbox we could throw at you. But what's the one thing you're going to do to drive new business? And then how are you going to create goodwill with influencers, and then looking at the analytics to double down on your choices. So that was the last training. Today's all about online audience building, how to identify, create, and cultivate these leads. Now, I know at the end of the day, you want to know, but how do I get leads? So I made sure I put in there some boosting and paid ads to talk about how to get leads through social. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I'm going to be Captain Obvious, reporting to duty. And I'm here to tell you, you need to post on your core channel. Okay, that's easy. I could have read that in a blog. No, I'm going to tell you how to pick your core channel and the best time to post. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to cover. And then it's all about creating content that you want people to care about. Is that right?
Absolutely. Right. So you are creating that content, you're pushing it out there because people are asking those questions and they want those answers fast. And so if you have answers for them available, that's creating content that's going to convert.
Absolutely. So you got to make sure you create content that your clients care about, not just what you care about. Real estate agents, I love y'all, but you're notorious for saying, but why would I post, tips, for instance, on how to stage your home when all I want to do is get a new listing, right? Or promote my big, beautiful listing. But at the end of the day, it's the tips that people care about that make them a referral that gets you the listing. So it's a long-term game for social media. You want to think of it as your social media lobby. That's what we're talking about today. And then I hear you loud and clear. You want to get leads. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So we're going to talk about boosting and paid ads, how to really get seen and put a couple bucks behind it, and talk about some of the different budget categories or what we would recommend. So thank you so much, by the way. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Patrick. Thank you so much for joining us. So without further ado, the first step is we want to pick your social channel, right? So Kyle, what would you say to somebody, let's say they're a builder and they want to be able to get people in their doors to get new builds. And most of their clients are going to be, let's say 35 to 55 years old. Would you recommend Instagram for that client?
No, I wouldn't, because Facebook would be that largest demographic reach. So they're looking for people who are, say, older. They maybe have a family of 4 already, and so they need that perfect house. And so they're going to be on Facebook. They're going to be looking at these reviews through Facebook to see which builder maybe I picked, which one has very great pictures, so I can choose the correct builder.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so Facebook by default is your largest reach, right? You're going to get in front of so many people on Facebook, and you're going to have the largest age demographics. So for instance, my daughter is 17. She has a Facebook account. She just posted for the first time in 5 years. So she is literally just being tagged in photos, or she'll see what somebody else is doing, and then she goes to Instagram. So 80% of the people on Instagram are under 35. Now, as a builder, for example, you may have a very visual brand, and you may want to be on Instagram kind of as a portfolio of your work. But I agree with Kyle, that would not be the channel to have as your core channel. I would recommend Facebook as well. Now, if you were saying as a builder, I want to be able to get in front of the affluent people. I want to get in front of people who make a lot of money, or I want to get in front of specifically interior designers because you know that they would recommend you out, or floor installers or roofers, or whoever those strategic partners are that you want to partner with. You know that they'll refer you business. Then LinkedIn could be a really good strategy. And LinkedIn, by the way, just rolled out a live video platform. So, if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. LinkedIn is kind of the new Facebook, for better or worse. You have your updates. You can post a full blog. You can do a live video. You can run LinkedIn ads. All of this is available. And I would encourage you to set up a LinkedIn page if you're going after the most affluent or a direct job title as somebody who would refer business to you. And what about Twitter? Who would be a good candidate for Twitter, Kyle?
Yeah, so Twitter is definitely one of those quick little tweets that you're going to put out there, maybe some tips and some fast facts, if you will. And so also a great thing for Twitter is you have Twitter chats. And then, so you can be in groups in Twitter, and you can be tweeting back and forth with different chats, and people are referring you for business, you're referring them for business. And so you are just really constantly opening the door for a wider amount of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And Twitter, y'all, look, you can even just see in the icons, it's the only one that's kind of flying on its own, right? Bada bum. Okay. But seriously, Twitter is in its own little sphere. Okay. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, even, you can fix it and forget it and just kind of schedule your posts out. Now, that's not necessarily, I call that sloppy social if you kind of do it once a month, but it's something, it's better than nothing. So that's not necessarily what we're recommending, but you can fix it and forget it for those channels. Whereas Twitter, it's more about micro conversations, right? Just like Kyle said, join the Twitter chat, give those tips, have those micro conversations, but it's short, it's fast, it's choppy. And most people do not like Twitter. When I talk to them, business owners, they just don't get it, right? But we were just talking to a client and his owner, he was the manager, the general manager, and the owner loves Twitter. So he wants to make the owner happy by getting him on Twitter, but he doesn't see how Twitter would help his business. And so one of the things we talked about with that client was how important it is for SEO. So there's a thing, it's called API. You know, each social channel has a, you could say, like a hard wire to Google. And so API determines how much data from that social platform is indexed into Google. And so Facebook page, when you post on your page, not your personal profile, when you post on your business page, those words are indexed into Google, but not at as high of a rate as Twitter. Twitter has what's called a wide open API. So if you're telling me that the name of the game for you is you want to get in front of influencers, or you want to get recommended by Google, or you're going after highly educated individuals, then I'm going to tell you Twitter would be the core channel you would want to focus on. Interestingly, I built my my social media firm in my life before this using Twitter and LinkedIn. Those were my favorites. And then I did live video and webinars through Facebook. And a little bit of posting on Twitter, but, or excuse me, on Instagram, but Twitter and LinkedIn were really my favorite platforms because I was looking to get in front of other businesses and affluent businesses, thus LinkedIn, and I was looking to improve my SEO, thus Twitter, and get in front of those small conversations. So all that to say that I want you to write it down. Look, this isn't TV, this is a workshop. Look, we may not be in the same room yet, although these may be live one day, but I want you to get your pen and paper. I want you to get a breakthrough. So write down, based on what we just said, are you looking to get in front of the largest demographic reach? Are you looking to get in front of the younger audience on Instagram? Are you looking to get in front of other businesses on LinkedIn or millionaires? Or are you looking to go after the highly educated group on Twitter and improve your SEO? Just write it down. Are you doing it? I hope you are. Come on, this is your chance. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds and then we're moving forward, and I'm gonna tell you when is the best time to post on your specific channel. Anything you wanna say before we move forward?
This is definitely an important part because picking that social channel, you can dedicate your time to one channel instead of having mixed and going in between, oh, which content to post on Instagram. But it's picking that core channel to really drill down and hit that amount of people that you want to go after.
Absolutely. If there's any Gary Vee fans in the house, that's a big influencer in social media. He calls it your core channel, your pillar channel. So you may, like me, when I had my social media channel, I was on all of these, but my core channel was going to be LinkedIn. That was where I really wanted to stay. And then from there, I pulled out content and splintered it, and then put smaller sections of it on Twitter, put a small section of it on Instagram, put a little bit of it on Facebook. That's how you splinter and repurpose content, but you need to have your core channel, and don't, especially if you're just starting out, don't try to be everything to everyone on every channel. That's how you get burnt out. And then what happens when you get burnt out? You abandon your channels, and then it looks very unprofessional, and you actually drive clients away rather than to you. So don't try, if you're not ready, just be on one, but hopefully you've got that one written down. And look at that. Hello, Diana. Thank you so much for joining us. So make sure you write down your core channel right now. That is your name of the game, because now we're talking about the best time to post. Now, it's interesting, but COVID has actually changed the best time to post. So these are COVID specific dates and times, but write it down for the one channel you selected, or screenshot the whole thing and keep them all, right? And we will send you these slides in a replay. So you'll get the replay and the slides, but write down the best time to post on the channel you selected. I think we should give them a little extra tidbit about Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So if you're on Facebook, most of y'all are probably going to choose Facebook as your core channel, unless you're specifically going after businesses looking to improve your SEO or going after the younger demographic who are under 35. So most businesses are going to choose Facebook. If you did choose Facebook, then it would be Thursday. Thursday would be the best time to post. Now, Google likes it if you have 2 posts a week. That helps you get recommended by Google. It creates social signals. So ideally have 2 a week. But when you put it up Thursday at 11, you actually get more likes. People are more likely to give you the big old thumbs up on a Thursday. I guess because they're looking forward to the weekend.
Hey, that's right. Everybody's looking for the weekend at 11 a.m. They're also thinking about, hey, what am I gonna get for lunch? Is there some like good pictures out there of the diner down the road? And and so 11 a.m. is a great time for Thursdays. Yes, and definitely for through the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit about boosting later on, but I want to give this to you at this point. Okay. Again, knowing that probably 7 out of 10 of you selected Facebook. If you selected Facebook, I'm going to say this real slow and I'm going to say it twice, and I need you to really hear me. If you do not pay to get seen by using a boost, you will only get seen by about 1% of the people who have liked your page on Facebook. So again, if you have 1,000 followers on your page, which not everybody has 1,000, okay? If you have 1,000 followers on your page, you're looking at getting in front of maybe 10 people, all right? So let that sink in. So if you took the time to create it, take the time to boost it. So Facebook and Instagram, you need to have a budget. On LinkedIn and Twitter, you can still get some organic traction using hashtags. There are paid ads on both platforms. But Facebook and Instagram, you need to boost it to get seen, or you only get seen by 1% of the people who like your page. So really, really let that sink in. And we're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about $5 for a boost, right? Or $1 a day for 3 days, $3 total. If you want to go big, throw 25, throw 50, throw 100 at it. Sure, but we're talking about $5 to $20 per post. Not a lot of money, but you do need to pay to be able to get seen.
Absolutely. If you take the time to create it, put some money behind it, so it definitely can gain more traction and get in front of the most people as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Special shout out. I see Terry Moten on the call here. What's up, Terry? So Terry and I really connected when we first met because she understands how people need to create content that converts, right? We have some really great conversations around this. She is your business problem solver and will be a sponsor on the next workshop. So special shout out to Terry here. One of the things that we talk to clients about when you're talking about online audience building, that obviously people think of social when they think of online audience building. And then I always get the infamous question of, should I post my lunch, right? What would you say to somebody who wants to post their lunch, Kyle?
I mean, yeah, if you're a restaurant, right, and you definitely post your lunch, but it's really all about creating content that's going to convert. So if your business is a cosmetic business, for example, and you sell, makeup and everything like that, well, you're going to create content around that subject and around that area to where people are going to care about why your product is better than your competitors.
I like this. I didn't expect you to break out a cosmetology example. He's an outdoorsman. This is a man's man. So the fact you brought up makeup, I'm impressed personally. But this is a really great example. So if you're a cosmetology company, right, obviously you're going to post about your products. You may give tips about how to, beautify or wash your face better or whatever those questions people ask you. And maybe, there's a big rave out there about avocados. Okay.
Yeah.
So you could do an avocado face mask. You could do, olive oil in your hair. You could do a coconut oil, and use it as a moisturizer. So there are some foods that work as beauty products. So in that example, we're going to help people reach their goals of becoming beautiful, avoid the pain of growing old, answer the concerns about whether or not your product is natural and organic or if it's full of chemicals, and then show people how to actually create or actually put on the face mask or the beauty products in this case. So how to reach their goals of being beautiful may be bigger than just makeup. And you may say you need to eat avocados and put olive oil in your hair. I don't know, okay? But that would be an example of, yes, you should possibly post a meal that has avocado and olive oil if you're a beauty company who has all natural ingredients and you're looking to help people create holistic health. But would you then post your lunch if you're a builder, right? We were talking about a builder earlier. Maybe not, right? Maybe if you're a builder who has like built their brand on the fact that you're healthy, maybe you used to be a health coach, maybe in high school you were the, the quarterback and the champion, and maybe you played football and in college and everybody knows you for being healthy, sure, then post your healthy lunch. But if that is not your brand, then you do not need to post your lunch on Facebook, right?
Absolutely. So Crystal, really it's all about posting things around who your ideal client is, right?
Oh my goodness, what a concept. Captain Obvious reporting to duty. Look, you can see right here under the header, you want to create a customer buyer persona cheat sheet. Boy, how would our life be easier if we had a cheat sheet? So look, I'm gonna walk you through it right now. Okay, this is before we move forward. Now your main channel, when to post. Let's go ahead and create a couple of topics that you can create content around instantly that is going to help you grow your audience online. So how am I going to do that for all of the businesses on this call all at once? Easy. It's all about figuring out your ideal client. So right now we do this on pretty much every workshop because it's that important. I want you to write down what is your ideal product or service? What is the product or service that's driving 80% of your revenue? Write that down right now. You're doing it, aren't you? All right, you did it. I'm going to believe it. Now, you wrote down your product or service. I want you to write down the name of your favorite client you've worked with who bought that service.
The one you want 10 more just like.
Yeah. And this is the pause where you're going to do it, right? Okay, I don't have to keep saying that. Okay, but yes, Kyle, it brings up a good point. Don't pick the client that stressed you out, didn't pay their bill, haggled the price, didn't give you a referral, left a bad review, whatever it is. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the one you want 10 more just like. Really good clarification. All right, so now you got their name, you got the product. Now I want you to think of that customer. When you first met that customer, either they called in, they were a referral, they, found you online, I don't know, whatever that is. When you got them on the phone or you met in person the first time, and you said, do you have any questions? And they said, yeah, as a matter of fact, do you X? Do you Y? Do you Z? Do you do this? How are you going to do that? What is your process for this? How much does this cost? Do you have, how are you different than your competitors? What were the questions that client asked you? Write those questions down during that first meeting. What did they care about? Or what did you say that really piqued their interest and got them to like squeal with excitement, right? Write that down.
This is all about referring to your FAQ list and really drilling down to those frequently asked questions.
Yeah, exactly. Think of this like an FAQ list. You may have an FAQ list on your website for general services, but have you come up with it for your product, your leading product? I don't know. This is your chance. So, okay, so you wrote down those questions. Now I want you to write down the questions. Right, y'all had a great meeting, you left, you typed up a proposal or a quote or whatever that next step is, and then you said, okay, now this is what I recommend. You slide them the paper, you say, go ahead and sign here. And they said, okay, but I have one more question. How do you X? Or should I expect Y? Or what about this? Do you remember those questions? Write those down. That now I want you to write down, what was the client struggling with? Why did they not already have those things? Why did they not already have the best office space? Why did they not already have a custom vehicle? Why did they not already have all their business problems figured out? Why did they not already have renter's insurance with an umbrella, right? Why did they not already have it? Something's standing in their way. Do a couple bullet points of what they were struggling with that prevented them from having that. All right. And write down their number one problem you solved. And you may think your problem you solved was you got them a new roof, but really what you gave them was peace of mind, right? You gave them an asset that they could pass down through their family. You gave them, freedom to use their attic again. I don't know, right? What is it that in the client's words, if you ask them what's the biggest value you gave them, write that down. Hopefully through this process, you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different things, at least 3, come on. Though each of those bullet points is a topic that you then post on social, is then a video or an image or an article or a blog or a graphic or a story, whatever it is that you're going to post on social, it should be around those topics. Now, I hear my real estate agents, I love y'all, I do, I swear, but I hear you in my head and you're like, but all I want to do is get a brand new listing, right? Okay, but you got to create the content around how you have helped other people sell their home to show that you're the guide who's going to help them sell their home. Again, I'm going to say that again because I really want you to latch onto this. Creating content that converts means you create content that demonstrates you're the guide, you're the expert who's going to help them based on the fact you've helped people just like them. Then that will be able to get you social media referrals. Now, we're going to transition into actual lead strategy a little bit. And again, the next workshop's all about online lead strategy. But I really want you to understand before we move forward that you have to be able to show on Facebook or Insta or whatever it is, the channel you selected, show that you understand what they need. You know what they're struggling with. And how you do that around creating content that they already care about. That then uses social media to keep them warm, to keep them active while they're still considering their purchases, which creates top of mind awareness. And that's how you get referrals. Now, do you want to give them a little bit of the statistics on who's ready to buy now versus later? And then that'll be a great segue into the lead strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. So the stat is 97% of the people who are looking at your product or service are not ready right now. It may be in the next 6 months, but 3% of those people are ready to buy right now. And so what are you going to do to keep them warm? And that's what Crystal is saying, is keeping them warm through social, because that's your business lobby. And so having those posts out there will keep you top of mind. So when they are ready in the next 6 months, they can convert to your business.
So good. You said it perfectly, Kyle. So I want to just really nail down on this, because when I had a social media firm before this, and so everybody would know, how do I get leads, on social? You create content that converts by talking about what people care about, but that's a long-term strategy. If you want leads in your inbox today, this week, right now, then you have to be able to do paid ads. And that's where we're going to be able to kind of finish up this training today. So now, obviously, everybody has different budgets, right? I know most people who are probably watching this, you're probably in the $500 or less budget. So we want to be able to give you a clear strategy on what you should be doing for about $500 a month to be able to see a return on your investment. So Kyle, do you want to kick us off on that one?
Absolutely. So for that section here, $500 or less of a budget, that's social, that's sponsored posts. That's getting in front of those influencers. Here at the Victoria Advocate, just a little plug, we do sponsored posts to where we can boost a post and tag your business page and get in front of our 58,000 followers on the page.
So I just want to really hone in on this, okay? Because we are one of many people. We happen to be the most liked Facebook page in the Crossroads. Thank y'all. So we are a great influencer to be able to use in your marketing. And it costs about $100, $200. It's not a lot of money to be able to get on Facebook and get a third-party validation from the newspaper to say that you're great and tag your page, and then it goes viral and you get unlimited shares, okay? But that's one example. If you find somebody with, let's say, 2,000 or more followers, and they're getting lots of likes, comments, and shares, and they're your ideal demographic, for instance, let's say you do baby wear. I don't know. I'm thinking of our beloved Peaches and Tortilla. Okay, she has a baby and they have a baby line. It's a little mercantile boutique. Okay, so let's say she wants to promote her baby line. She may want to go after a wedding planner, knowing that people who get married often have babies, right? So that would be one example. Or go after a daycare and have them post on the daycare's page and talk about how she's a really great option for clothes. But that's one example of how you need to think critically to reverse engineer what's my product or service. this that's driving my business, right? Who is it that I want to attract? What content do they care about? And who's already reaching them? And then offer them a couple of bucks, $100 to $200 to be able to put something up on their Facebook page, tag your page and say how great you are. This is one example. And this could be a big boom for a lot of business. I feel like somebody just got a breakthrough on this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to sit real quick on social media boost, because we talked about boosting a little bit earlier, but this is where you're putting money behind a post to get in front of those followers, right? So, but people always ask, Crystal, I boost post and I just really don't see the return on investment. And, our answer is, well, how are you boosting? And there's different ways that you can boost a post. And you can, one we recommend all the time is boosting that post to the people who already like your page first. And whenever you get, say, 50 likes, 10, 15 comments, then if you want to go after a cold audience, that different audience who don't know you yet, then you can boost them and they see that engagement and they're more likely to interact.
Absolutely. Really, we call that warming up the post, right? So first of all, I want to bring it home because I know that you have been on social, okay? This is my little pretend phone, okay? And you're scrolling, right? And then all of a sudden you see something and you're like, oh, that's funny. I'm going to like that. But you realize you're like the first person who's liked that post and you keep on scrolling and you don't like it. You've done it. Okay. That is real. Nobody wants to be the first to like a post. So if you're going after people who don't know, like, and trust you, they may even like your content, but they're not going to actually give you the thumbs up because nobody else has liked it. But if you warm it up, just like Kyle's saying, to the people who already like your page, now you're going to be able to see, they're the ones who will engage and be the first ones to like it because they know, like, and trust you. Now go after that cold audience of who it is you want to go after. But some people don't have a big page following, right? So you can upload an email list. Special shout out. We do upload your email list for you to Facebook for $75 so you can boost directly to them. It's not a lot of money. And then that becomes an asset you get to keep. So if you don't have a big Facebook following, you can use a direct list of your CRM of the emails who have already done business with you. But what if somebody says, I don't have a page following and I want to build that up?
Yeah, so there's what they call a page like campaign. And this is where you can run a campaign through Facebook to where when we are going after an audience and when somebody likes your page, it shows up on their feed. And then from there, it just kind of organically grows from different followers.
And you've seen this one. You've seen it where it says Sally likes this page. And you're like, well, if Sally likes it, I might like it too. Let me check it out, right? That is a page like campaign. It is above board, right? You're paying Mark Zuckerberg. You're not buying followers. If you buy followers for Facebook, you will get shut down. It will shoot you in the foot. We do not recommend buying followers. But this is very much approved by Mark Zuckerberg and is a standard practice. So you can, in fact, do a page-like campaign. And then there's this pixel called retargeting. What is this?
Yeah, so this is definitely gasoline, if you will. So whenever you're running a social media boost through social, you go in Facebook Ads Manager, and there's a pixel that you put on your website. And then whenever somebody is on your website and then they go to Facebook, they start seeing your post.
So I'm gonna give it to you real clear here. If you're paying money to Facebook to boost or run ads and you don't have that pixel on your website, you are paying too much. You are not working as smart as you could be. So most web developers will put it on at no cost. So just get the pixel or get help. We can help you with that too. But again, get that pixel on your site because like Kyle said, it's the gasoline. And then I put on here lead capture. Why would I put on lead capture under social?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about boost, right? We talked about going after cold audience, talked about going after people who like your page. But guess what? Cultivating that audience that already likes your page is going to capture leads and say, I get a lot of word of mouth referrals. Well, hey, on social, really capturing those leads and that word of mouth will definitely organically grow as well.
100%. And there is something called a Facebook ad that is for lead capture. So you don't have to send them to your website to get their contact information. You can get it right from Facebook. And Facebook will even autofill it with their profile. And we all know we like ease of use, right? So how many times, again, I like to give it to you straight. So you're on social, you see an ad, you click on it, and then you didn't realize it was going to take you off of social, and it starts opening up a web page, and then the little thinking thing comes. Doesn't your heart start to race? And you're like, did I even want to leave social? I don't even know what this is about. Maybe I should click it. And if it takes more than 3 seconds, people do not want to wait. They will leave, and that's called a bounce. But you can do it in Facebook, which cuts down on that friction, so you can actually get leads in Facebook. It costs a little more, but you can actually run Facebook ads for lead capture, and that is one of our specialties as well. And then lastly, I put up there YouTube. You know, if you're creating videos, I told you the statistic, 86% of people are watching videos to determine who it is they're going to reach out to. So if you do have some videos, get them on a YouTube channel, and the words coming out of your mouth are indexed into the #1 and #2 search engine, being Google and YouTube. So, and then put a couple bucks behind it to increase your views. Why not? So, all right. So that is like the gist of it. We're going to land this plane pretty quick. Knowing most people on here don't have $1,000 and up budget. So, but I do want to touch on that and then really emphasize the power of site retargeting and land this plane here. So, okay. So let's say somebody's like, all right, I'm boosting my posts. I've got a couple sponsored posts with influencers. I've got the pixel on my page. I am or am not running a page like campaign. Maybe you're doing some lead capture, some YouTube videos. So that's about 500 roughly for the things we just talked about. You can even get all of that for about 500 if you're good with your money, right? Now, so about 500 more, let's say you have a second 500 or 500 to 1,000 to spend, let's say. How do targeted ads fit into that budget?
Yeah, targeted ads. So this is where you're hyper targeted. And whenever, Crystal, you know, I've always thought about this, but whenever you're searching online, you leave a digital breadcrumb. And what that means is you can go after these breadcrumbs. And so if I search online for flooring in Victoria, Texas, and I go to weatherchannel.com, and then I go to a different website, a flooring company, if we have a targeted campaign set up, can send a digital ad to that person who has shown the intent to look for flooring. And so
because they wouldn't have Googled best flooring Victoria if they weren't looking for flooring. That's shown intent. Yeah, absolutely.
So going after the people who have shown an intent, those are more likely to consider your service or product. And also site retargeting. So this is where people go to your website, your mousetrap, and they leave. They start seeing your digital ad follow them around the internet.
Yeah, so good. I can't emphasize this enough. I mean, think about it like this. Okay, if you want to be able to get in front of exact people looking for office space in Victoria, right? And you know specifically, you don't want to get in front of the ones who are looking for cheap office space. You want people who want luxury office space. Then whenever somebody types in luxury office space, you can then tag them to earmark and see your ads and follow them around the internet, right? Just like Kyle is saying. But let me ask you this. If you tag them and they see your ads and they click on it once, is that a good lead? Possibly, right? They may fill out the form the first time, but chances are they may not fill out the form the first time you go to your site. And that's why we use the site retargeting, just like what Kyle said, because then they go to your website and leave. The plumber came, the kids called, the boss needs them, life happens. So they click out of your site. Now we actually deliver ads to those exact people to bring them back to your site to fill out that form. But I do want to ask you a question, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, Mr. and Mrs. Marketing Manager. Do you care if that person who is looking for flooring in Victoria, Texas, do you care if they see your ad when they're playing a hedgehog game, Angry Birds, or if they're on the news channel, Fox News, USA Today, BuzzFeed? Do you care where they are when they see your ad? Probably not. You get the same impact if they're playing a hedgehog game, if they're on BuzzFeed. So we deliver ads across all of those channels, regardless of whether they're playing Angry Birds or they're reading articles on BuzzFeed, right? We can deliver ads and highly target them based on the fact they have a digital breadcrumb, like Kyle said, because they search that. You can also drop a little fence around your competitors. Anybody competitive out there? I know I tend to be competitive. So if you got a competitor and you know that people walking that store would be an ideal client for you, we can drop a digital fence around there and deliver ads to all people who walk in and then leave. and then we can show how many walked into your location. So if you're a business owner and you're like, look, I want to be able to get and build my leads online, we're going to recommend you start with social. We're going to pick a channel, you're going to post on it, you're going to boost it. You may want to run a couple ads to increase your page likes and get that retarget. That's step one. Then layer in a couple of targeted ads based on your competitors or who went to your website or what people are searching. But regardless of what you're doing, if you have a $500 or $1,000 budget, if you have a $50 budget, you can start doing site retargeting, which will track people who went to your website and left. So don't think that site retargeting is like so expensive and you have to run a $1,000 campaign to be able to get it. We have some clients, a jewelry store, in fact, I can think of, that we manage their website and we run site retargeting for $50 a month. And we deliver 5,000 impressions to the people who went to their website and left and show that they're getting anywhere from 20 to 35 leads back to their site who left and may not have ever came back, but they did because of the ads. Hopefully that's making sense, y'all. What questions you got? We're about to wrap this up, so put it in the chat. Thank you so much. I see Patrick and Melissa, Kelsey, Diana, Allison. Thank y'all so much. We are going to go ahead and start wrapping up. So let me know if you have some questions, please. So please do mark your calendar. This is the beginning of our webinar series. So Kyle and I are passionate about people and business and creating a group of entrepreneurs right here in Victoria that are on fire to change their business, to take it to the next level, to break through their fears, to be able to reach new peaks, new heights of success. That's what this is all about. So we're wrapping up our 4-part series with lead strategy on June 22nd at 11 a.m. And so mark your calendar for that. Please do invite a friend. That is the greatest compliment you can give us, is to tell somebody else who can benefit from it. And that is texasbusinessgrowthseminars.com. And I do want to put a special plug for July, right? I am so excited for Christmas in July. Maybe we should call it holidays in July. I'm not trying to,
Jingle in July.
Yeah, jingle in July. I don't know if you're practicing Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Christmas, whatever it is. The bottom line is most businesses have about 70% of their revenue that comes from fourth quarter, but most businesses don't have a plan for fourth quarter going into it. Does that not shock you? It shocks me. It sickens me, I think is a better word. So Christmas in July, get ready. We're going to actually go through a case study and build out a fourth quarter campaign. We have worksheets for it. So we're going to have the first of the 2 series where we walk somebody through who's like level 1, 2, 3 ready. You're just getting started. And then the second one, somebody who's like gung-ho and doing it really well, we're going to help them take it to the next level. So you'll get something out of each one. You'll find yourself in both of them. You are not going to want to miss Christmas in July. Get your fourth quarter plan ready because Christmas is coming. I know it's sunny outside, but it's coming, right, Kyle?
Oh, it's going to be right around the corner, and we got to get you prepared and ready to attack.
Yes, yes. So here's our contact information. Again, I'm Crystal Lindsay.
And I'm Kyle Motal.
And we are M. Roberts Digital at the Victoria Advocate. I want to say again, thank you to our sponsors, the SBDC, who has been with us from the beginning and made this available through the CARES Act funding. It helps bring it to you at no cost. And then for Heritage Mark, your premier luxury office space right here in Victoria. So if you haven't checked them out, you want to go down there, and they have like fruit infused water and stuff. They're pretty fancy. You want to go check them out. So thank you so much. Those are our cell phone numbers and our emails on the screen. We would love to hear from you. You will get a replay with the slides and this video, but stay tuned, and we're going to see you on the 22nd, where we're actually shooting from Tyler. Did you know that? Oh yeah. We're going to Tyler. Let us know if you have any questions. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything in the chat. I don't see anything here. So with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. And thank y'all so much for your time. And we just pour blessings all over you and your business, your family, and may it just be joyful and easy as you grow your business and take it to the next level. You can do it, and we can help. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Take care.